Good evening. Hope everybody's doing all right. I first off, I want to say happy birthday, Leo. I assume that's today, huh? Fun times, fun times. I also want to thank those that took a moment out to say a prayer or two for me. Um, amazing, amazing the power of prayer. That's all I can say. I had woke up not completely, just completely done and over with it, the anxiety and the, episode, if you will. However, much, much more manageable. And so that is awesome. Throughout the day, remained pretty manageable. So I'm not drinking coffee, though. I'm not gonna poke it. That's poking it with a stick, and I know it. So maybe tomorrow or the next day, I'll ease back into my coffee regimen, and hopefully all will be well. So again, I want to thank those that said a word or two for me. Father's awesome. Father is awesome. Aside from that, well, I did get the video card in. I'm here, so I clearly didn't have that big of a problem. But wow, I did play for a little bit earlier and check it out, and it's just indescribable. I will have to. I thought the best way I think to do this, believe it or not, is to put my Pocket 2 in my little chest rig, and record a video so you guys can see what it's like. It wouldn't if I just did it straight, record straight to a file. It would make it real short on your screen and super wide, and you wouldn't hardly be able to see any details. So it'd be much better if I did it that way. At least you could see some detail and get a little better feel as to how it's arranged. But it's awesome. Immersive isn't the word for it. It's incredible. Went up some clouds earlier. I believe I was up above New York at the time, and I have never in Sims seen a cloud like that even remotely. I mean, it was like it was a cloud. It wasn't. It's just amazing how full it. It's just weird. It looked so real. Anyway. So more nonsense today, both involving balloons and I guess NATO has got this bright idea that they're gonna, well, I'm gonna say the word expand, possibly for the lack of a better word, but I'm going to say the word expand, and they want to do increased, monitoring of infrastructure like pipelines and undersea cables, and now they want to step up that game, which you also know, and as I was saying yesterday, all the other countries know too. And this isn't gonna go over so hot. It's just not gonna go over so hot. I've got some tabs open. Don't have really a whole lot to discuss tonight. I pretty much got the tabs. Talk to you a little bit about it. And then there wasn't a ton as far as amount of headlines today. So I'm still waiting. I'm still waiting for that shoe to drop, and I have a feeling it's going to be very loud. So, one other thing, I got an email earlier, sometime earlier. I just saw it right, literally as the intro was playing on the show. As a YouTube channel. I don't know if they said that they were based. I think so. Hang on. Well, their email is a .uk email, so that is what gave me the impression that they were from over yonder. So, anyway, just kind of sent an email to me saying that they'd love to have more or less have a conversation, dive deeper with me on like a Zoom call, just to get a further understanding of our views and opinions. I went and I checked out what they got going on. Obviously, haven't been able to hear anything yet, listen to anything yet, but it looks pretty good. It looks pretty good. Alt-Eternative is the channel. Alt-Eternative. So I'm definitely going to check them out, and I may take them up on their offer because, man, I would love to hear other people's views as well. So especially views from people that's over across the pond. That would be incredible. So we'll see. We'll see. Pardon me. So yeah, lots of craziness. You know, lots more questions, much fewer answers. Crazy stuff when it comes to the balloons. I only got 5 tabs open and literally don't have much open tonight. I mean, there just really wasn't that much. I mean, well, you have to figure it's the day after the Super Bowl, or should I say the Stupid Bowl. It's day after, so it is what it is. U.S. tracked Chinese balloons in Middle East, says an Air Force commander. Now they're just everywhere. Well, you know what? They've been everywhere for a while. This is just, I'm going to call it hyped up hysteria. Yeah, because that's pretty accurate. It's hyped up hysteria with these balloons. It truly is. But this here says the U.S. military observed a number of alleged Chinese surveillance balloons over the Middle East in recent years. Air Force's Central Command Chief, Lieutenant General Alexis Grinkovich, it's a W, so I'm sure I got that way wrong. Anyway, said that crap on Monday. Washington and Beijing have thrown accusations of espionage at each other since the U.S. shot down several high-altitude objects in recent days. Even though we have seen high-altitude balloons in the region before, they have not been a threat. They have not been something of concern for us. Oh, goodness, his name again. Grinkovich said in an event posted by the Center for a New American Security, another damned organization, a think tank funded by the U.S. military, how cute, and the weapons industry, even cuter. Across the U.S. military's Central Command, which encompasses the Middle East and parts of Central Asia, one main incident involving a balloon took place last fall, while 1 or 2 others took place in previous years, the general continued. These balloons, which Grinkovich identified as Chinese, have not hung out over American bases or been any threat to our forces whatsoever, he added. The level of concern that I have about them is extremely low, he said. It's not something I lose sleep over. U.S. warplane, well, it's probably just going to go in the history about all the damn balloons been shot down. Speaking at a press conference on Monday, Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesman Wang Wenbin said that it is also common for U.S. balloons to illegally enter the airspace of other countries. Wang claimed that in the past year, U.S. high-altitude balloons have illegally flown over China's airspace more than 10 times. The White House denied, well, I'm actually going to get to that. That's the next tab here, so... wait. Time out. I don't know what the... this is basically saying the same thing. 10 times since January 22nd alone is what they're saying. And I have no doubt. I honestly have no doubt. I mean, it's not an uncommon thing. It's not like it's something that does not happen, right? So, of course, U.S. is going to deny that. This is what they had to say. It says the U.S. has rejected allegations by the Chinese Foreign Ministry that it has flown surveillance craft in the country's airspace on at least 10 occasions since January of last year. The denial comes amid tensions over so-called Chinese spy balloons being identified in U.S. skies. In its riposte to Beijing issued on Monday, Washington's National Security Council described the claim as false and said that it was an example of China attempted to pursue damage control after its own efforts to surveil U.S. assets were discovered. It is China that has a high-altitude surveillance balloon program for intelligence collection that it has used to violate the sovereignty of the U.S. in over 40 countries across 5 continents, NSC spokesperson Adrian Watson said on Twitter. Man. And it just goes back into the history of everything else I've covered. So, I do have one other thing. I forgot about this. Let me bring this up. This is just in time, so I'm going to say you're welcome, right? We'll just say you're welcome. So, as I've been using this to enlighten and broaden, believe that I'll give you some other crap too. Hang on, I gotta wait for it to load up, the damn thing. Come on, do it. Just go. Do it. You know you want to. Don't make me prove I'm a human again, because I'll do it. I ain't gonna have a damn choice. I'll do it. Don't make me prove I'm a human again. Come on. Come on. This is totally worth it. I wouldn't be wasting the time here if it wasn't absolutely necessary to show this to you. So, come on. Wake up, little thingy. So, right here. Hope you've already got it figured out for Valentine's Day. You don't have to worry about the poem because ChatGPT has you covered. So this morning, I couldn't resist. I went into ChatGPT and I said, write me a poem for my girlfriend for Valentine's Day. And this is what it spat. My dearest love, on this day so fine, I want to express what's on my mind with words that come straight from my heart or AI-generated text and show you just how much we're apart. You light up my world with your bright smile and make my heart sing all the while. With laughter and joy you bring such delight. You are my sunshine, shining so bright. Together we share a love so true, a bond that will forever renew. With each kiss and hug, our love grows stronger. Reach down there and it grows long. No, it says, I'm so grateful for you, my love, my longer. We're in a little downhill there for a second. We caught it. So on this Valentine's Day, I just want to say that I am so thankful you're in my life each day. I love you more than words could ever express. You are my heart, my love, my happiness. But it ain't bad, man. It's a hell of a lot better than I could do. It's a damn sight better than what I could do. So I couldn't resist. I could not resist. Tim Pool did a video today. I highly recommend people check it out. It is involving ChatGPT. He's got, I don't know, some hacked, cracked version of it. where he can bypass the more or less like the morality filters and stuff like that. Very interesting video that he did today, and I urge people to check it out. Not saying jump into it with both feet. Not saying touch it. It's whatever you feel like. I like to have a little bit of humor with it. I'm not gonna let the thing start making decisions for me, and I might let it write me a poem now and then. Does that pretty damn good. So, but no, I doubt I'll be having it write any more poems. Anyway, back to reality. Oh man, I'm still getting used to these screens, but this is a hell of a lot better than what I have been fighting. Let's see. NATO to focus on undersea cables and pipelines. This is what I was saying earlier. It says NATO will set up a new coordinating body to address threats to undersea infrastructure, Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg said on Monday. His announcement comes just days after legendary investigative reporter Seymour Hersh said the U.S. and Norway were behind the September explosions on the Nord Stream pipelines under the Baltic Sea. Protection of critical undersea infrastructure will also be high on our agenda, Stoltenberg told reporters in Brussels. Following the meeting of NATO defense ministers, the U.S.-led bloc has been working on this for many years, Stoltenberg added, and we are now taking it to the next level. The new coordination cell will be established at NATO headquarters to map our vulnerabilities and engage with industry, which will support our efforts to prevent and counter threats to critical infrastructure, including undersea cables and pipelines, according to Stoltenberg. He said further measures will be decided at the NATO summit in Vilnius, I think, Lithuania in July. Stoltenberg, who was the Norwegian prime minister before taking over at NATO leadership in 2014, did not address Hersh's story from last Wednesday. Neither did any of the reporters. NATO spokeswoman Oena. I have no idea. The Pulitzer Prize-winning investigative journalist had accused the U.S. of ordering the destruction of the pipelines running from Russia to Germany and Norway of helping to carry out the bombing. The White House, they denounced it, of course, and here, Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesman, Mao Ning, said on Friday, if Hersh is telling the truth, what he revealed is clearly unacceptable and must be answered for. So I think it's really interesting that now NATO wants to be the ones to oversee that stuff. Where the hell were they on that one? It's amazing. NATO launches new surveillance network. Well, wow. So you're saying that not only are they going to, take better care of under our seas, but now they're going to launch a new surveillance network too, because certainly they don't surveil enough. I mean, come on. NATO will launch a new virtual network, and this is what I'm talking about, by the way, with the title of the show. This stuff is not going to stand. These other nations are getting tired of this, because it's not that this whole NATO thing and the UN are a joke. Absolute joke. They're U.S. and UK ran organizations. I mean, it's ridiculous. It really had, in my opinion, and I don't know if it started out truly having something to do with international global security, but it's not that way now. Now they use it to steamroll people that don't give in to their agenda. That's not what I thought they were supposed to be there for. I mean, they help nations commit atrocities. It's unbelievable. Anyway, this here says NATO will launch a new virtual network comprising national and commercial satellites, Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg revealed in a press conference on Monday ahead of a meeting of NATO defense ministers. This will improve our intelligence and surveillance and support NATO missions and operations, he said, adding that it would allow for better navigation, communication, and early warning of missile launches. The move comes several months after the Russian Foreign Ministry warned that Western commercial satellites being used in Ukraine conflict are valid military targets. Stoltenberg acknowledged that the new network, as well as the much-needed replenishment of member nations' weapons stores after a year of fighting in Ukraine, would require increased military spending from those nations. The day's meeting would thus include discussions of how to maintain and step up defense spending across the alliance, he said. In addition to standing with Ukraine for as long as it takes, he hinted at an expansion of NATO's efforts in Eastern Europe, explaining that ministers will also address how to step up our practical support for Bosnia and Herzegovina, Georgia, and Moldova, whom he called valued partners which face Russian threats. While none of the three named countries are NATO members, the bloc has encouraged them to cozy up to it as the conflict in Ukraine drags on. Moldova received EU candidate status in June, Bosnia in December, and Georgia applied for EU membership in March, though none have officially applied for NATO membership. Russia has adamantly opposed NATO expansion, viewing the military alliance's efforts to encroach on its borders and place missiles on its western flank as a direct threat. Moscow has sought a promise from Kiev that it will never join the bloc, though such a pledge has not been forthcoming. I'll tell you what, I think it's coming down to the wire, if you will. I think that, I think it's probably getting ready to kick off. There's a lot of stuff going on. One thing that I haven't spoke about really on the show here is this ordeal in Ohio with the train derailment, and what more could I add to that? That's just insanity that's going on there. I don't think the balloon stuff was necessary. I know a lot of people talking that the balloon stuff was distracting away from Ohio. But, and that could also be true, but I think they're also trying to kind of distract a little bit from Ukraine and Russia, as especially well of the Nord Stream stuff. If that Nord Stream stuff really grows legs, and if that keeps in a conversation for very long, and more confirmation from more places and stuff like that, that's a big deal. That's a big damn deal. I don't know. I don't know where to begin. The first thing that's going to bite us, I don't know if it's going to be the conflict. I don't know if it's hell, as far as I know, it could be domestic issues here that could pop up. Next month, there are a lot of people that will lose out on emergency benefits. And the prices of food has not come down, which is the whole reason why those emergency benefits were given. So I don't know how that's going to play out. At the same time, that is March, so things are kind of starting to get warmed up a little bit, starting to head into summer. And, for the most part here in the U.S., we don't protest in the winter much. It's it's too cold. I mean, freedom and rights and all that stuff. It's too cold. So, but anyway, it's going to be warming up, and folks are probably going to be hitting the streets. And let me be real honest. I know I joked about that right now. There's a difference between protesting because things are bad, and there's a difference between protesting because things are impossible. I think we're getting ready to walk much closer to the impossible side of things. And then it won't matter if it's cold. There does become a point in time to where that stuff doesn't hold people back anymore. So I don't know. I don't know. We got so many things. Currency, everything. And right now it would seem that each one of the issues is pretty big and inflamed. And I don't know. Like I keep saying, the most important thing is making sure that we can respond to whatever it is that comes our way. That's about the most we can do, realistically. We don't have the power to fix the world's problems. I don't know. It'd be crazy if it just continues a super slow crawl into SHTF, though. I mean the hard SHTF. Alright. Let's do some headlines. And we'll make it a quick, easy night. And I'll run out the back. No, I'm not going to run out. It's too cold. No, I'm kidding. It's not too cold today. It's actually not. I had windows open for a little bit. Fun times. Hey, Blue liked it. Boy, she was so excited. Oh, but not as excited as when she got to see her UPS buddy. Oh my goodness. She hadn't seen him in a while. It's been several months since she's seen him. We had like one or two deliveries, but they've been a while ago, and there was somebody else that was helping on the route here in town. So it wasn't him. It wasn't the guys. So today it was, and she just absolutely lost her mind. Anyway, I reckon I can read through these damn headlines here and skedaddle. Maybe. I could just sit here and vape and stare at my screen and bore you guys to death. Nah? Okay. Well, alright, we'll do some headlines then. Russia's trade with African country up more than 50%, says an ambassador. Well, that's what you say, buddy. No, I don't know. Big oil rakes in record profits. We've been covering that quite a bit in the last couple of weeks. Berlusconi floats cash for ceasefire deal in Ukraine. Hey, Berlusconi, you want to throw me some greenbacks, man? I'll tell him to quit. U.S. shoots down another airborne object over its territory. Relax, this is the one yesterday over the Great Lakes. Musk explains purpose of Starlink in Ukraine. Olympics chief responds to Ukraine's boycott calls. Good burp. Pardon me. U.S. training terrorists to target Russia, says Moscow. Saudi Arabia keen to join BRICS and SCO, says an envoy. Toll of Ukraine conflict on NATO assessed, says Reuters. Trump savages pop star Super Bowl performance. Russian scientists claim they've invented tranquilizing cheese. So, beware of that, ladies. If a man brings you a big block of cheese, it's the new rupees. EU preparing more economic sanctions against Russia, says Politico. I know, it's not funny, but the whole thought of using cheese. Let's see. West gasoline shipping costs soar after Russia's embargo, says Bloomberg. China shoots back at U.S. spy balloon claims. Oh, I covered that. German Chancellor's party suffers historic defeat. NATO flag defaced as thousands rally in Paris. Most politically biased corporations identified, says a watchdog. I think it was like Coca-Cola, Apple. Who was the other one? There was 3 of them listed. Disney. I should have thought of that, duh. Anyway, there's 140 corporations, I guess, on the list. That's sad. Let's see. Key Russian ally to host major war games. Belarus, that is. Watch asteroid exploding into fireball. Well, I would, but it already happened. Archbishop pressured over same-sex marriage, says media. I guess so. Russia boosts gas supply to China, says an official. NATO sounds alarm over Ukraine's ammo consumption. Yeah, no kidding. I mean, EU to target media in latest anti-Russian sanctions, says Politico. Let's see. Report alleges grim scale of child abuse by clergy in EU state. EU spending on energy crisis approaching $1 trillion, says a think tank. I think they think too much. Hang on, we got breaking news coming in here. Oh, multiple injuries reported after 2 shootings at Michigan State University. That is, and actually I see RT just did it too. Let me share this out and then I'll read it. Shooting triggers university lockdown. Michigan State University has been placed on lockdown after shots were fired at multiple locations on campus. Wow. Police are on the scene and reportedly pursuing a suspect on foot. Campus police reported shots fired at MSU's Berkeley Hall and IM East building on Monday night, noting that law enforcement is active on the scene. Authorities said there were multiple reported injuries but offered no further details. The suspect is believed to be on foot right now. Community members on and off campus should continue to shelter in place, the police said. So that is happening right now. Okay, where were we? Star Wars legend says he follows orders from Zelensky. He should move there. Academic responds to mass suicide outrage. Covered that and that. Nord Stream blast story was not hard to find, says the author. Ruble slips to 9-month low. Jesus ads promote fascism, says Democrat. It was AOC. France slams Marvel Films' false portrayal of its military. Covered that. Anti-Semitism is rising in the U.S., says a survey. Google to expand disinformation campaign in Europe. Australia accused of holding ex-U.S. Marine in inhumane conditions. Trump denies he spends a lot of time inventing nicknames. Telling you, slow news day. NATO to focus. Oh, I covered that. Snowden calls UFO craze a distraction. Like we haven't heard that a billion times. So anyway, that's the news. I know. So exciting. I'm so entertaining. Pulling my scab off my finger. Man, that thing's been itching. Cry for me? Anyway, that's all I got. I don't have any more nonsense. I'm out. I'll have more tomorrow night, though. I promise. Anyway, I am going to get out of here. And God willing, we'll be back tomorrow. And I hope to see you then. So, hope everybody has a good night. Get some good sleep. And make sure you got those preps ready to go. So, as always, God bless you. We love you. Be one with your spirit. And shalom.